Okay, so in Jose Enrique Rodo's Ariel, he decides to elaborate an allegory by comparing it to the Tempest. And he decides to incorporate various characters such as Prospero, Caliban, and Ariel that will eventually represent various parts of his speech. Okay, so he starts by talking about the teacher, which is compared to Prospero. In this case, they have similar character because it's a very strong character, like with a lot of authority, and at the same time they represent wisdom because both of them have a lot of wisdom. Um, the students in this essay are compared to Ariel because Ariel has a very enthusiastic, innocent, yet very charismatic um, character. But at the same time, they're very capable of reasoning. So he is trying to portray, like, he's trying to get the students to see that they are very naive, that they are starting, yet they are like trying to begin. So it's like it's not wrong for them to make a mistake, but at the same time they have to fight for what they want. Um, Eventually, Caliban represents like materialism, and he is as well very naive, and it's very interesting because we read a previous essay, and it talked about how the relationship between Caliban and Prospero, and it's that Prospero is a person with a lot of power, with a lot of influence, and at the same time, he is like trying to be very influential, and we can see that Caliban is very like like very inferior to the subject of being conquered by someone, in other words. But we could say that the teacher in this case is a very knowledgeable person that is just trying to give advice to his students, and is a person that wants them to move on, but at the same time wants them to understand that they don't know everything, that they are very naive to the concept of what's going on, of what they're supposed to know, but at the same time that they are very open to knowing and receiving information. So that's very important. At the same time, talk about like the influence of various countries. He talks about the influence of America as a very influential country, and he he says that a country is not defined by its wealth, or it's not defined by how big it is, or it's not defined by everything that it's supposed to define a country. He states, great civilizations, great nations, in a historical sense, are those that once their time has passed, leave bright radiating throughout eternity the harmony of their spirit and imprint their heritage upon posterity, as Carlyle said of these heroes, like a new and divine proportion in the sum of things. He's mainly stating that he he's saying that it doesn't matter the size of a country. It's important. It's what it leaves behind. If it leaves good influence, or if it's something positive for the country within itself. Okay, so at the same time, he's telling his students to fight not only for what they want, but for a future that would affect everyone else, that a future that is important for everyone else. So he's saying that that there's his students are the future of Latin America, are the future of being a successful country, of being a successful place, of being a successful generation. He's a person that, although compares his teacher to Prospero and tells him that he got the nickname due to a statue, it doesn't matter because his character reflects who Prospero is in the play. Prospero is a person with a lot of influence, a person with a lot of knowledge, a person that is very knowledgeable, yet at the same time very wise about about what he says and how he says it. At the end, I believe that he's just advising his students that about what they should do, and he's comparing them to a very knowledgeable play that they can relate to. So that's how the tempest is used as an allegory. And yeah,